Alright, our next comedian is an expert at comedy, and he is also an expert at free-range egg identification and getting stains out of corduroy pants. Adam Cody.
Thank you, Ben. You have no idea how complimentary those two skills are. So, I heard a rumor you guys had a pretty good fall break. Is that true? That's good. But isn't it also great to be back at school? Yeah?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Alright. Back at Ithaca College, where people have more pride in their school than they have different sweatshirts in their closet. I swear, you walk through campus, it's like half the people forgot all of their clothes at home and just had to buy a whole new wardrobe at the school bookstore. It's a bit much. You know what else is great about being back at college? You're welcome. I'm gonna leave the foreground though. You know what else is being great about being back at college? Is living in the same room as someone who isn't just you. That's great. Because no matter how nice you try and be, it's gonna get weird. Is there anybody for whom this is the first time they've lived with somebody else? One person. Keep on trucking. Let me tell you, if it's not weird yet, it'll get weird. If it is weird, it'll get weirder. Because, like I said, no matter how good of a roommate you try and be, just things happen. For instance, my roommate was asleep, and I was awake. One of those times. And I stepped on a fork. That was a terrible idea. Okay, it's gone now. Don't worry. So my roommate was asleep, and I was awake. And I was being so quiet. I was being so good. I was being such a nice roommate. You know, I was like tiptoeing around and shit. And I was moving in slow motion. You know, all those things that cartoons tell you makes you quieter. I was doing all of those things. But then, I sneezed. And then also I sneezed 2 more times. And let me tell you, these were not quiet sneezes, neither comes, sir. I've been known to deafen a few times with the old Jew trumpet. So I sneeze. I sneeze loud as heck, and I wait for the foundations to stop shaking, and I whisper, "Sorry, man." Because I feel bad. I feel bad that I woke him up. But it's only after I whisper sorry that he wakes up. So now I have to explain. No, not explain. Let's call a spade a spade. I have to brag to this guy about how loud I sneezed while he was asleep and why I woke him up to tell him that. Like, best intentions, but it's just, you're gonna get weird. You, one person who's living with. So I'm gonna say first time. I wrote a poem for you guys. Do you wanna? Woo! Yeah! I call it a poem, but it's more of just a joke that I say really slowly. And I call it a joke, but it's more of just some sentences. So here it goes. People tell me that psychology majors are all crazy. And people tell me that communication majors can't talk to people. But I don't think that's fair. Because chemistry majors are all made out of molecules. And religious studies majors are all gonna die someday. Believe it or not, that's the punchline. Do with it what you will. I lost a bit of weight recently.
Woo!
No, please, don't applaud, I was cursed by a demon, everything I touch turns to gold, I'm starving to death. That's not true. That's just a ridiculous fantasy. Anyway, so I lost this weight, and I don't know. I've been uncomfortable about my body image pretty much since I learned how to be uncomfortable with things. Like, I'm pretty sure that's part of the 5th grade curriculum. You get some fractions, you get some whitewashed history, and you get a deep feeling of inadequacy. Those are the 3 things you gotta get with. It's like, here's a protractor and a bag lunch. Maybe if you work hard enough, the people you love won't leave you. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So obviously, this was a pretty satisfying victory over what was a fairly injured part of my mind. And, but, when you lose weight, your clothes don't fit anymore. Let's face it, I looked like a recently homeless paleontologist. And so when your clothes don't fit, you gotta get new clothes. And I'm not a big guy. I'm not that big. I'm kind of a smaller, I'm a littler, I'm a little guy, I'm a small guy. And apparently, losing that bit of weight pushed me just under the threshold of clothes that they make for adults. Yeah. So now that I'm finally in shape, I'm back to wearing clothes made for husky children. Just where I wanted to be. So, I have a class in Friends Hall this semester. And by a class, I mean I have every class in Friends Hall this semester. And I don't know, it feels harder this semester. And I don't want to push the responsibility away from myself, but there's just something about armor-plated wheelie chairs with robotic articulated arm desks. Just draws the focus away from the professor. But don't get me wrong, these chairs are a major improvement over the old chairs. Let me get that straight. I mean, for one thing, the desk surface, you can put shit on it. Freshmen, you don't remember this, but that's a big improvement. The desk. I think the true genius of these desks is the cup holders. Plural, 2 cup holders per desk. Because, before I kept getting my booze when my mixer mixed up. But now I know left, right on the left. But this was just my first impression. What I found out was the deeper genius of putting 2 cup holders on every desk in a classroom is that the class before you now has 50 trash cans. Great, this really improves the efficiency. Thank you, IC 2020. And thank you, audience, for being an audience.